So he's already in.
We are really concerned about their situation, and we looked into this matter and Prime Minister, or at least charge them in court, at minimum bring them to court, because detention without trial is not something we want to see happen in Malaysia. So please convey this message to the Prime Minister.
Any progress on ISA?
It's still in
Parliament.
So we saw you last August, it was exactly the same situation.
Okay,
I'll tell you what, I'll send it to you by email.
So can we have some time frames and some dates when exactly it's going to be
when
abolished?
they finish, it should be in due time, because when they finish engaging on the people, it should be one.
When is due time? 2013, 2014, 2015?
Maybe.
What is your response to what has gone on in Malaysia in the last month in terms of the crackdown on human rights and basic civil liberties? There's been a huge concern from all over the world in terms of the international community. Have you seen what Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch and various other people have written about Malaysia?
Well, you have to be really there in order to...
The Malaysians are passive people.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're right.
All Malaysians I know.
Yeah, you're right.
Even in school, I remember I went to school. Malaysians are passive people. We don't. This thing about communism, finding Molotov cocktails.
No, you're right. But
Not the way to treat.
we have to look at the overall picture.
Well, I doubt. I'm thinking communism. Hey, communism is dying around the world.
So what is the overall picture?
No, as I said, you must look at the security. You must look at the interests of other people too. While as I said, everybody has the right to demonstrate peacefully. That's my stand.
Are you around for a few days?
I'll be leaving there for tomorrow.
I thought maybe
You can have a drink with me if you want.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Tomorrow.
But how can yellow t-shirts be considered illegal? How can peaceful assembly be considered illegal?
One thing, this is the same thing that I explained to you before. See, the biggest worry is not in the Muslim itself, but there will be people. You see, in Malaysia, you must understand that there's a multiracial society. See, for example, you can march. Just a couple of small group people who's going to touch some shops or anything like that. It'll become a racial issue.
Yeah, but
It's
that
no
never
longer a
happened.
human
There
rights.
was more than 50,000 people on the road and nobody torched any there was no vandalism, there was no torturing of shop houses on the recent Bersih rally. And yet we saw a lot of abuse by the police in terms of the tear gas, the canisters.
No, this is why we have to take precautionary measures. That's why I said nobody loves Malaysia more than we do. All of them do. All of them. But we expect them to be safe and sorry. Because now the Prime Minister has given them, you can go to the stadium and demonstrate this peacefully. Because it's, when the shops are being touched, for example, there are people taking advantage of that. You could easily
But they agreed to go to Stadium Merdeka, but then the permit was not allowed. So why is that?
Stadium Merdeka is under renovation, and it's a very small place. Shah Alam is 100 over 1,000. Nobody loves Malaysia more than we do.
Yeah, and actually, no one loves Malaysia more than we do either. And all of you have a very strong connection to it. That's why we're actually very concerned about what's going on.
We are equally concerned. I appreciate fully about your concern, but we are also equally concerned because it could also have been stood easily.
Some bad elements.
But what about the 1,600 people who arrested that there was no weapon found on them?
Yeah, that's what I said. We have to be safe and sorry. This is why I agree with you. These people should be taken for charge of what I've spoken to this because I was away. Okay? But the circumstances is different when you're.
So it will be different if you are around.
No, not necessarily around. Then I can give you a better picture.
But Minister,
I can give you a better picture.
Minister,
Police beating up citizens protesting on the streets. Just police beating up people protesting on the streets.
Why are fellow Malaysians brutalized, Minister? Please.
Look at all these demonstrators. You must also look at London sometimes. You must look at America. Don't pick one because you have to take certain actions. Because if you don't obey, okay, you have to be there. If you don't obey the police order, if you don't obey the law, that becomes chaotic.
But what about the people who were actually running into Tung Shing Hospital to seek refuge and actually had tear gas and water cannons actually shot into Tung Shing Hospital? Today there was a very strong statement that came out from the doctors who were actually there verifying that is what happened. People go into a hospital as a place of sanctuary during a time of war or chaos and they don't expect to be shot at with tear gas or water cannons. So that was just completely unacceptable action on behalf of the police.
Well, as I said, you only hear and see the part of the story. Okay. As I said, you must look at the overall picture. You cannot just pick up something that's happening there and say this is it. And this is the very thing. This is the very thing that we are worried about. And this is the very thing that we are concerned about. You see, is not the real issue itself, the 8 points, but what will happen in demonstration. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted to show.
Well,
But will they
what
be,
they showed was that they were actually very peaceful protesters because none of them beat up any of the police.
You see, they
there was no
provoking.
vandalism.
They're
And when
provoking
when the police came to actually shoot water cannons, then what did they do? They sat down. We have pictures
Talking
of
on
people
the-
sitting down.
You
and
know,
water
you have
cannons
to be
being
there.
shot at them.
You have to be there.
Well, we also
You
have
cannot just
YouTube and
read.
the internet now, and actually we're able to see pictures that are coming out from
Yeah, but
people
you only
from
see
different
pictures
photographers.
that they want you to see. You only see pictures they want
Well,
you
why
to
can't
see.
the government give us any counter pictures
when
that
they
the government
provoke
wants us
that,
to see?
that is not the government's intention.
Maybe what we call for is have an independent investigation, not the government, an independent body to investigate.
That's what I'm saying just now. That's the thing. Now the 8 points has been drawn. Okay, this is the issue that they actually what the opposition wanted. You see, this is exactly
But we are not
what they
opposition,
wanted.
Dato. We are,
No, I know.
we are-
I'm talking about the opposition. I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
I said this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what the opposition wanted to show this. You see, in any demonstrations, there are things that likely to happen. Okay? You know? And that's why I said, if I were to walk along 50,000 people, now maybe all of us have good intentions, but there are some people who will take advantage of it.
And we need the police, like the police here, to ensure public order.
Yes.
So I think the role of the police is to make sure that it goes well.
You know, the other day, the public demonstration for the civil service.
How long have you not been back to Malaysia?
Every year, most
Every year.
I go back.
Okay, that's what I said. Next time, you
Yeah.
come in, let's engage there. When
You know,
it's
the
happening.
civil service, the British civil service, they want to do a calling of the British servant, the British civil servant. And you know how many people were there? It was in start from the Lincoln Inns. They walked down to Parliament House, no trouble. There were about 50 of
There
them.
you are. You cannot compare one country to another.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, you could be
I'm so
completely,
sorry to
your intention
interrupt
was
you.
perfectly well.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, I admire you.
They
But
are all ages.
you know,
young people,
if one of those people,
retirees, and because they affect the pension,
Okay.
civil service pension.
okay, if those people walk, okay, we are not saying from just the opposition or anybody, but if just want something, burn all the shop houses and long to put Jalan to Mabraman and all that. No, that's
I'm so
it.
sorry to interrupt.
No. Well, burn all the shops in Mabraman and become a racial issue. They said it's a Malay touching the Chinese shop.
We are matured now.
Don't take chances. You're mature enough. It happens every day.
Dato Anifah, we go back to the original thing. When are the EO6 going to be released?
Okay, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The Home Minister is here.
Okay.
Then he's in a better
Yeah.
position.
Anyway, thank you for engaging with us.
I don't mind having a drink with you.
I think